I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the shamanic view of mental illness, and I know that there's a lot of words on some of these slides. I don't read them off there, but I really want you to get a feel for them so that you can, again, ask questions if you want to. It's a little different once you begin, again, looking at the shamanic view of mental illness, because we believe that everything happens on a higher plane. All illness, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, happens on that plane, and we draw it down to us. And we do that for a variety of different reasons, and I'm going to get into some of those reasons about why that happens. But what happens is, on a shamanic level, is that once you retrieve a missing soul piece, you're actually permanently healed. That's the difference. Okay? So, soul loss happens when a fragment of ourselves, a fragment of our true essence, is again removed from us. And we can do that ourselves, unconsciously or consciously. But what happens is that spiritual essence, the truest essence of us, if I was to use a different concept, I would say the divineness of it, the divine childlike innocence that we have, has somehow been disrupted. And what happens then is that we then have to make a choice about where that piece goes. For most of us, what we believe is that missing soul piece goes into Gaia or Mother Earth. It doesn't go to our own mother, because our own mother was unable to protect us. So it goes to a divine essence of Mother Earth to be held for us to, again, get it back. So what then happens is that unconsciously we can give it away. Lots of times that happens before the age of 8, and it usually happens in some type of a traumatic event. Okay? It happens, it can happen because we've been abandoned. It can happen because we've been abused. It can happen because, again, we didn't live up to our parents' expectations of us. So as a child, my mother died when I was 2. My grandmother raised me. It was very traumatic. And it was very interesting because I heard all of the time, "I wish you could be more like your mother." So I want you to know that I spent the first part of my life trying to be fit in a box that I was never going to fit in. And it took me a while to understand that, and somewhere about 15 or 16, I didn't get it anymore. I wasn't going to be in anybody's box anymore. So the interesting thing about that, though, is that all of that, even though I had done lots and lots of therapy in my 20s and 30s, didn't actually come into my complete understanding of why that experience had happened until I had done 14 days of ayahuasca. And then the light bulb came on and I got it. So what happens to us lots of times, because we don't lots of times grow up in a community that feels tribal, that has grandmothers and aunties and all of that have a particular way of teaching, is that we don't get that information about, again, being in a particular situation or an event that, again, can harm us, and how we're going to, again, heal from that. So what happens then, though, consciously, is lots of times we're willing to give up a piece of ourselves. This happens lots of times within the gay community because, again, we don't fit in a particular box. So we're willing to give up who we are to fit in whatever in that community, because what we really want more than anything else is love, right? We want to feel loved, we want to feel accepted, and we want to feel like that, again, we can contribute. We can't feel any of those things, though, if in fact we're giving up pieces of ourselves. So then what happens then is that, again, we're trying to make other people happy, and I certainly did that as a small child, trying to make, again, a grandmother happy who had lost a child, my mother, whom she grieved until, again, the very day that she died. And I got that through, again, the entheogen work that I did. I came to understand and to feel and to know, because there's a collective consciousness, I believe, again, what it was that she was going through.